Hello, Danielle.
Hi, how are you?
I'm excellent, actually. I confess I've got a little coffee in hand, so I'm sorry. I can hear that my 2-year-old is trying to break into this room, so hopefully she'll get.
Don't worry. My husband's just taken my two out for a bit, just because I knew the same thing would happen. They'd be running in the room.
They like to make a good sort of a guest appearance on Zoom calls on a regular basis. So
I know the feeling, for sure.
that's fine. So I understand that you're a firm believer of the holistic approach to health and fitness. Can you just tell us a bit about what started you on this path?
Sure, yeah. So my journey started about 17, 18 years ago now. I just left university. I'd done my degree in education. I was going to go and be a primary school teacher, and I got really unwell. So I got glandular fever, and then I was diagnosed with ME. So I was pretty much housebound and bedridden for about 18 months, really sort of almost unable to move, in a lot of pain. And I never was anybody that was particularly healthy. I thought I ate fairly well, I did bits and bobs of exercise, but I definitely wasn't looking after my mind and body the way that I should. And someone suggested to me, why didn't you try a bit of yoga? And I've never heard the word yoga before. I was like, what was this? So I remember getting I think it was from HMV, one of the old sort of VHS videotapes on yoga. And I couldn't do much of it.
VHS.
I know, exactly. And I couldn't do much of it at all, because I was very much housebound, a lot of pain. It was starting off just a few breathing techniques, a few gentle stretches in bed. But straight away, I knew that was the start of my healing journey. So from there, I started to think, what else can I change? Can I change my mindset? Started to get much more into positive thinking and relaxation. I started to change the way I ate. For me, it was cutting out alcohol and caffeine and cutting down on sugar. All of those things to heal myself really helped. Lots of different holistic therapies, from acupuncture to massage. All of these things helped me, and I was very lucky in lots of ways that by doing all that, within 18 months, I was able to feel healthier and happier than probably I'd ever felt in my life. And I knew that I'd gone through that journey for a reason. I'd always known that I wanted to do a job that helped people, hence why I wanted to be a teacher. But after I'd managed to heal myself from this illness, I thought there must be so many other people out there who are either going through a similar illness or just want to use these simple natural techniques to help them feel healthier and happier. So I then did training as a yoga teacher, as a relaxation therapist. I did training in nutrition and face massage, and started teaching a lot of meditation and yoga classes. That's sort of what I started with. Love that, built up quite a sort of a busy client base of that, which is amazing. But I remember when I did my yoga teacher training, just thinking, how crazy is it that you learn everything about the muscles in the body, how to strengthen, how to relax them, from there downwards, whereas we've got 57 muscles in this area. So I had that in the back of my mind. And also when I trained in face massage, I used to think, I don't want to be giving people treatment so they can only come once a month for. I want them to be able to do this on themselves daily, get these results. And also,
is that what you have to do? Like, does it have to be a daily ritual?
It does, ideally. I say anything is better than nothing in terms of how much you do each day, but do something each day. So if you pick 1 minute each day, that's great. If you can do 20 minutes or 30 minutes, that's even better. So yeah, do what you can. And I remember actually going back sort of 15 years ago, that when I was teaching yoga, there wasn't much out there for the face, whether it be invasive or non-invasive like there is now. There wasn't the knowledge out there wasn't the treatments. So I remember so many clients saying to me, I wish I could do something for my face. Haven't you got yoga for the face? It's totally on my body, but what about my face? And I did a lot of research, into techniques from Chinese medicine, Indian medicine, a lot of research into the science of the face, how we can strengthen toe muscles, how we can relax tension from the face, and then put together the Danielle Collins Face Yoga Method, which is what I've taught.
I am so excited about learning about this. Can you tell us more, and can you tell us the steps, and can you give us a demo?
Of course. So there's 5 main aspects to the Daniel Collins face yoga method. So it's the face exercise, the face massage, the acupressure, the relaxation, and the well-being. So all of them are just as important as each other. You know, it's just as important to relax the muscle as it is to strengthen the muscle, just as important to massage as it is to look at what's going on the inside. So it very much is a holistic method. So I mean, I can demo a few in a bit for you if you'd like me to show you some.
Yes, please. I would love you.
Amazing. Is there any particular area of the face that you want to focus on, or you'd like me to show you?
Do you know, I just like, maybe could you give, I don't know, I don't want to, could you just give us like a quick, like, all over? Like, if I wanted to give myself a pep up, you know, like, I suppose, like, with my age, I find my face is, like, it's just, you know, coming down.
Whenever they go in that way, that's what we all want, it all go that way. So a few quick things you can do. Something which I always recommend, particularly if you are really pushed for time and you're thinking, look, I don't know if I can find 20 minutes or 30 minutes every day, is when you start doing your skincare, so you're applying whatever you apply, your serum or your oil or your moisturizer, do a bit of massage then, because it's going to help the product get deeper into the skin, and it's also going to be sort of a 2-in-1. You know, you're applying the product anyway, so you may as well do a bit of massage. So you can do a very simple one, which is sort of tapping the fingers here all over the neck, and that's just getting the product deeper into the skin. It's boosting the blood flow, boosting the circulation, and then you can come up and down the jaw. It also relaxes tension.
How hard should you be tapping?
Light pressure. So we often think that we have to go really deep and hard to have an impact. But particularly with things like this, and you can go over the cheeks, but particularly with things like this, you're trying to encourage tension to be released from the face. We get a lot of lines and wrinkles because of those stress-related expressions that we do every day over and over. So by encouraging relaxation in the face, you're going to have the best results. So go nice and gently. If you feel you want to build up a little bit with the pressure, you can, but I always say start gentle. And you could do that for 30 seconds or a minute, and you probably feel straight away there a nice warmth in the skin, which is a good indication you've brought all the blood and the nutrients and oxygen right up to the top layer of skin.
It feels so nice. It feels like so relaxing to do that.
It's so relaxing. It's so simple to do. You know, just make sure you've got clean hands, ideally a clean face. Apply your product. Do that. Super easy.
Very easy. Okay, very easy. Okay, and so, like, if I wanted to work like my cheekbone muscles and, like, you know, like infamous lift, what is a good thing to do for that?
So we have lots of muscles in the cheeks, and as we age, we tend to lose that muscle tone. We tend to lose the collagen and elastin. So we really need to work on strengthening the muscles under the skin, and of course, boosting the collagen and elastin through the massage. So one of my favorite ones is you just puff both cheeks out full of air. You need to breathe in and out through the nose for this. So you can place the hand over the lips if you find that you create any lines there. And then you simply take a hand, keep breathing in and out through the nose.
I forgot to breathe. I didn't realise I wasn't breathing.
I know, as you just collapse at the end of it. And then the other side. And you do that about 30 seconds. If you can build it up to a minute, that's great. But you want to do that regularly, and that's how you're really going to build up the strength and tone in the muscles.
Very invigorating.
It is. It's great if you're feeling a bit tired, a bit stressed. And you know, that's a lot of what my face yoga is about. It's about what we can do to feel good on the inside, because we all know when we're feeling pretty rubbish on the inside, our face shows it straight away. So, you know, we want to do what we can to try and look after the inside too. So it is a very much holistic way of doing things.
I've got someone has put in a question, how do they get a chiseled jawline?
Okay, so you can do lots of things for the jawline. So I'll show you an exercise first, and then I'll show you a massage. So the exercise, you're just going to wrap the lips around the teeth. So you're making a sort of smile shape, but wrapping lips around the teeth. So you're going, okay, and then here with the fingers. So the fingers are just smoothing any lines that might be created, and then you're going backwards. So you're going, And keep lifting those lip corners all the time. And then back down. And then again. So you want to feel your jaw muscles working, but your cheek muscles as well. And don't worry if you laugh.
Where did you feel it? Did you feel it? I was feeling
so you should feel it with your cheeks. If you're lifting your lips up enough, you should feel it in the cheeks. As you go back, you should start to feel it in the jaw, and you should feel it a little bit in this big muscle at the front of the neck as well.
Yeah, so, definitely felt that.
Perfect. So that was really good to do. You can start with 30 seconds of that one, and then you can do a massage, 2 fingers and thumb, pinching all the way up the jawline. So that's lovely for helping to release tension in the jaw. It's very good for helping to tone the jaw as well. And again, you can go up to 1 minute of doing this. It feels really simple, feels really gentle, but if you're doing that daily, it's really effective with having a nice face lifting massage.
And sorry, and I noticed that you did it from the chin up, and then you started again at the chin, where I naturally just went back down again. So
yeah, we want everything going up, unless it's lymphatic drainage. The only exception to that would be, for example, sometimes we do some little things like this to help drain the lymph down to this area, but generally we want to work upwards because that's the way we want everything to go.
There was another question that I saw just earlier that came in. Someone said, what do I do about a wide nose?
Nose is a tricky one because quite often it tends to be a bone issue there. So if it's a bone issue, you can't really change that through face yoga. If it's you have excess fat in that area, then what we know about the body and the face is we can't spot reduced fat. So people often ask about double chin area as well. You can't pick one area of the face or one area of the body and just burn fat in that area. It's about sort of overall weight loss. But what you can do is you can tone muscle and you can help to reduce any puffiness. Okay. So with the nose area, you can certainly just do a little bit here of massage working up. Very good if you've got a little bit of puffiness there. If the puffiness is coming from this area, you can just very gently come under here. This really helps with the lymphatic drainage. And also the cheek technique that we did earlier here. And work your tapping around the nose a little bit. So that cheek exercise is going to help tone muscle here. So all that will help tone muscle and reduce puffiness, but we can't change bone structure and we can't just burn fat from one area.
Okay, and then just actually, that's a really good point on the double chin. Okay, we know we can't spot check, but is there like a good one to, apart from tighten here, to sort of tighten here? Yeah,
so you can definitely tone muscle in this area. One of my favourite ones for that one is lips together, and then what you're going to do with the tip of the tongue is it's going to come up and down like this towards the roof of the mouth. So head tilting back, be careful if you've got any neck problems here, and then tip of the tongue is going, so I'll come a bit closer if you can see.
Okay.
So you should feel, if you put your finger there, that's where you should feel the muscle working. And this literally tip of the tongue is going to the roof of the mouth, sort of at that same speed.
Get it in the wrong area. Okay, that's a really good one.
It's a great one. 1 minute, at least 1 minute a day of that, and that will help to tone this area up. But working different areas, all the muscles are attached in the face. So if, for example, you do some neck techniques and cheek techniques, this is going to help provide strength and support for this area too. So ideally, you're trying to work the whole face if you can, but if you haven't got much time, just pick 1 or 2.
And then, obviously, people suffer from tension headaches. Is there a good one here that we could that you could do to help release the tension across the front of your face?
So there's 2 really nice ones which I like for tension headaches. One is super simple. You just sweep across with your fingers, very light touch. And what you're doing here is you're encouraging that muscle at the front of the forehead, it's called the frontalis muscle, to really relax. But as you're doing this, you're also encouraging it to relax, so you're less likely to raise the eyebrows or hold a lot of tension in that area. So it's very good from an aesthetic point of view, but also very good for releasing tension headaches. And another one, you just come here and you can just do little circles on the temples. So it's quite an intuitive point when you've got a headache to circle this area, but do that, go anti-clockwise for about 20 to 30 seconds and then go in the other direction. It's so relaxing. And you can do breathing whilst you do it. So breathing in and out through the nose, nice long deep breaths. those three things, that massage, that little acupressure and the breath, are all fantastic for tension headaches.
That's amazing. If someone comes into you for a treatment, like a face yoga, like how long? Do you like spend an hour, or like how long do you spend?
Yeah, so I mean, it's really up to the individual what they do. So I train people to be face yoga teachers. So we have 700 teachers in 50 different countries, and they all teach in a different way. So some of them will do weekly classes with a group of people, or twice weekly, or 3 times a week, and you go along like you go to a yoga class and you do 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour. And you're not just consistently exercising one area, it's lots of well-being techniques in it too, massage, acupressure. So it's very much a holistic class. Other ones of our teachers will do one-to-one sessions, so maybe they'll have a whole hour and a half with someone and they'll work through each area of the face, and again they'll do things like affirmations, relaxations, visualizations, head massage with it, shoulder and neck techniques. So there's really up to the individual, and it also depends on the teacher you go to. But certainly you could spend an hour or an hour and a half doing face yoga quite easily.
Amazing. So you have like classes of 8, and then someone is asking, where are the courses?
So if you go to faceyogaexpert.com, all the information's on there about our teacher training course, and also about courses that you can do just if you're interested in learning for yourself at home. So I've got a 10-day face yoga course that you can do. So that's all at faceyogaexpert.com.
Amazing. I'm just gonna one more question about around here.
Yeah.
You have like tension in like your neck and shoulders. Is there anything you can do for your neck which helps kind of release down here? Because I can imagine that there's quite a lot of people out there at the moment with that kind of.
Absolutely. So I would say throughout the day, try and release the tension, because often what we do is we let it build up all day and then we think, we need to do something about it. So even trying to stop it before it starts. So shoulder rolls, they're so simple, but actually just doing 3 or 4 of those and then the other way, 3 or 4, instantly you start to release a little bit of tension there. And then bring your shoulders to a nice and neutral position, so not too far forward and not too far back. And then what you can do is you can just turn your head to the side and just tilt your head up a little bit and just bring your chin slightly upwards. And here you'll feel a lovely stretch down through the side of the neck, but you're also working with lifting up through the side of the face. So it's having lovely lifting benefits too. And you can do the same the other side. You can just turn. And remember the breathing too. Breathing has been proven in so many studies to be one of the best ways to help to reduce our stress and help to heal our minds and our body and our face. So if you can breathe whilst you do these nice and deeply in and out through the nose, that really, really helps.
And do you have, sorry, I'm getting really carried away with that.
You're getting really into that.
Our friend has just said that the lady who just asked about the courses is from Brazil, so she hopes after the pandemic she can go there for a course. So that's nice.
Do it distance learning. That's what everyone's been doing during this. So most of our teacher training courses you do via distance learning. So you learn it all at home with videos and a manual. You do your written assignment and you do all your exams via Skype. So that's what everyone's been doing. It's our most popular option for our teacher training as well. So we have people all over the world training. And if you want to learn face yoga for yourself, again, it's all that you can do at home. So works just as well in the pandemic as any time.
It's amazing. Someone's just written with a really nice comment that they've done a course with you and it was so well worth it, the best investment they ever did.
Oh, that's so lovely. I'm so pleased to hear. Yay. Oh, thank you so much. Can't see who that is. Oh, Justina, hello. Thank you for saying that. That's lovely.
How long did it take you to come up with your method?
Do you know, it was years of, obviously all the training that I did first. So my training, as I mentioned, in yoga, relaxation therapy, nutrition, face massage. So all of that came as part of it. And then it was years of research as well. So at the same time as researching, I was working with people. I was teaching all my yoga classes and my relaxation classes and giving people face massages. And I was bringing in different techniques whilst I was researching. I was getting them to try these techniques. So, you know, it very much was a culmination of quite a few years of training, of research. And then over the years of experience as well, you know, I've worked with so many people for so many years. Now I'm very much focused on overall sort of running the face yoga business. But, you know, there was a time when I was just out there every single day teaching face yoga classes, teaching yoga, teaching wellness sessions. So just working with people, you know, that's as important as the research. And I always continue learning as well. There's always new research coming out about what we know about the composition of the skin and the face muscles. So I'm always adapting and changing.
Amazing. I mean, that's amazing. That's kind of what you have to do. You have to just keep adapting.
Absolutely.
Someone has actually asked, how old are you, because your skin is amazing.
Thank you. I'm 38.
Wow. Like your cheekbones just so amazingly chiseled. What else can I do to chisel my cheeks?
Well, it's just daily face yoga, but actually I say just daily face yoga, it's also just healthy living. You know, that's something that perhaps I don't talk about enough. I talk all the time about the face yoga, but it's what the decisions we're making every single day that helps our skin as well. So the boring things that we're told all the time, like drinking lots of water, you know, that type of thing does make a difference. If we're not drinking enough water, we notice dark circles or puffiness under our eyes, we notice bloating in our face, we notice little blemishes in our skin. And it's amazing, as soon as we start hydrating from the inside, how that really sort of plumps and firms from the outside. And also looking at what we're eating generally, you know, making sure we're including enough protein in our diet, particularly if we are doing face yoga, if we are strengthening and toning muscle, we need that protein to help with that strengthening and toning. And then all the other things we know, you know, the antioxidants from the fruits and the vegetables, including as much as that as we can. And then cutting down on sugar. You know, I always hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the sugar causes something called glycation in the skin, and it literally does break down collagen and elastin. It ages the skin so quickly. You know, and a little bit of sugar's fine, a little bit of alcohol and caffeine's fine, but the more that we can cut those down, the more that this has positive benefits in our skin.
And so can I ask, like, for example, for you on an average day, what would you eat and drink?
So I always start the day with some warm water and half lemon, sometimes the whole lemon squeezed into it. So I have that on waking, and then I try and wait about half an hour before I then have something to eat. And I really love starting the day with green smoothies. I find particularly when I've got to rush off and do a school run, you know, in normal life, if I can just throw everything in and make a green smoothie, so like avocado, spinach, banana, almond milk, berries, that sort of thing, just blend that up. I usually will have that. Go off and do what I need to do, school run. At the moment, obviously, we're not doing that. And then I'll eat something a little bit more substantial, sort of what I call mid-morning, which is probably only about 9 o'clock. But when you get up with a 3-year-old at 5:30, it feels like mid-morning.
It feels like the afternoon.
Exactly. So then usually I'll have something like porridge, maybe some eggs, something like that. Lunch, I try and have sort of protein. If I can eat plant-based protein, I will. I'm not strict vegan or vegetarian, but I try and have about 3 or 4 days a week where I eat plant-based. So I try and then have my my protein through things like lentils and falafels and hummus and all of that type of thing at lunchtime. I love sort of like Mediterranean food, so I love like olives and hummus and lots of fresh vegetables. So I try and have that type of thing at lunchtime. I love dark chocolate. I have dark chocolate almost every single day. So I'm not saying I don't have treats. You know, it's 85% cocoa, but I love dark chocolate. So I normally have a couple of squares a day of that. And then, you know, evening, it really depends whether I'm cooking and eating with the kids or just between me and my husband or what I'm doing. And, you know, and I eat snacks as well. I try and make them healthy. I like things like nuts. I love things like yogurt and berries. And sometimes, you know, if I want to have a big piece of chocolate cake, I'll have a big piece of chocolate cake because you've got to live. I realised this week, I realised that for the last 3 months, I'd cooked, or pretty much cooked. I mean, you don't cook much at breakfast, but pretty much cooked 3 times a day
Yeah.
four of us, because I'm used to normally the kids being at school, or sometimes we go out for dinner or different things, and I cook 3 times a day for 3 months. And there was a fish and chip shop near us that had just opened, so we went and got fish and chips, and we drove up to the top of a lovely hill, so we live in the countryside, and ate them up there. And I just thought, this is so lovely. Not only was it just a really nice break from cooking, but it's just a nice treat. And that's the thing, and I always try and bring that across to people. Yes, I eat really healthy, and I live a healthy lifestyle, but I have treats like everyone. You've got to live. What's life about if you don't?
Yeah, I know. Someone's actually has just actually written in and said, what is your thought on bone broth? Because it seems to be a big trend for the health and beauty community.
It is a big trend for sure. And my acupuncturist, she's always saying you need to be drinking bone broth because it's excellent for the collagen in the skin. Okay. I've always been a bit funny about meat things. Like, I don't mind occasionally eating a bit of meat if someone else prepares it, or it's sort of meat that you don't I'm not very good with stuffing a turkey, let's say, that type of thing. I'm a bit squeamish about that type of thing. So the thought of sort of like boiling up a carcass to make the bone broth always just freaks me out a little bit. I know that you can buy the bone broth as it is. I don't do it myself, but as I say, a lot of people I know, particularly sort of health experts I know, say that it's great. I mean, if you're vegetarian or vegan, it's obviously not great because it's an animal source, and I do try and sort of eat as much plant-based as I can. So I'm always on two sides with it, really. I think if you're just talking about is it good for the skin, yes, it is. Do you want to prepare it?
It's very nutrient dense, isn't it? It is supposed to be.
Do you have it? Do you have it yourself?
No, I do. I mean, I've had it from time to time, but I'm not avidly drinking it every day.
No.
But I have read a lot about it and how it is very nutrient dense, and it's very good for you, and it's very good for when you're ill because it helps to get the nutrients that you need to. So sorry, someone is asking, what is the right age to start face yoga?
Oh my goodness, any age. Just start it as early as you can. It's never too early and it's never too late to work with toning muscle, to work with boosting blood flow, lymphatic drainage. It's never too early or too late to release tension and stress in our faces. So absolutely, you can start as young as you like, and it's really never too late. Often I have people say, I'm in my 60s or in my 70s, is it too late for me? And absolutely no. And the same with body exercise. It's never too late to start something.
Yeah. And do you have a particular, I know you talked about using your moisturizers to do the massage, but do you have a favourite face oil that you use to do the face?
I do. We have, so for years and years, I couldn't find anything that had the results I wanted it to have and worked really well with face yoga, because what I used to find is a lot of oils are just far too greasy for the skin. A lot of creams tend to just sit on top of the skin because their molecules aren't small enough to get into the middle layer of skin. So we got an amazing skincare company who've won multiple awards to, that's my doorbell, I'm going to ignore that. It's a delivery. I just have to go, you can probably see me through the window there. So we got an amazing skincare specialist at a skincare brand to make us a serum. So it's called Fusion by Danielle Collins, and it's all accredited by the Soil Association as organic. It's got all pro-performing botanical seed oils in it, so it doesn't have any water in it, it doesn't have any yucky ingredients, doesn't have any sort of fillers in it, that type of thing. And it just works beautifully if you've got sensitive skin, and it's got ingredients that are clinically proven to help with things like age spots and sunspots as well. So it's just beautiful. And again, that's at faceyogaexpert.com/shop, and you can see all the ingredients there and all about the Soil Association accreditation because it's organic and vegan.
Amazing. And what has been the most hardest thing about setting up your own business?
Do you know, I think the hardest thing about having your own business is you don't really have a day off. It doesn't mean you work all day, every day, but you have to just be on the ball with it all the time. So even if you're going on a 2-week holiday, well, I know in my case, even if I've gone on a 2-week holiday, I can take the whole day off, but I'd always need to take an hour sort of in the evening or something like that to check in with emails, to check in with social media, that type of thing. And even though, I'm lucky to have a team, they all work remotely, so it's great. They work in their own time, and it's very flexible. But I'm lucky that I've got that team. But even still, I need to be there, just checking in on things and checking. So I think the hardest thing is you can't actually have a full day or full week or a full month off. But you're also in charge of your own schedule. So if you do want, I don't know, a Tuesday afternoon off, then you can choose that. You know, you don't have a boss that tells you can't do that. So pros and cons with that.
Yeah, you can go on a school trip. You know, you don't have to.
You can, exactly.
And what tips would you give to other females starting their own business?
I would just say do something you absolutely love, and it shouldn't really feel like work, because you will be doing it every single day of your life. You know, it's not just going to be a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 type of thing. You need to be loving it. It needs to be so much part of you and so much part of your passion. And also it should be something that just comes easy to you if you are starting something. So if it feels like it's something that's really hard and you don't really believe in, and it's a real sort of even struggle for you to get your head around it, it's probably not the right thing for you. You know, it needs to be something which you believe in with every part of you, and you know, you want to share with people with sort of every part of your soul.
Yeah, so true, so true. And what have you done personally in your routine to help you feel like stay calm?
Or at the moment during lockdown, do you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. For me, it's just carving out that little bit of me time. So I have been joining with online yoga and meditation classes. So there's a lovely yoga studio. I live in Bath, and there's a lovely yoga studio called The Hive, which I always used to go to. But they, as soon as lockdown happened, started streaming it live. You know, you do it via Zoom. And I try to just check in with them every day and do that. So do either an hour yoga or a 30-minute meditation. I also love online, there's a lovely company called the Hey You Method, and there's a lady
called I love Katie Brindle.
Yeah, Katie Brindle. So she's absolutely lovely. So sometimes I try and join in with her morning qigong as well, and so I just try and
such a laugh as well, like so much happiness and joy.
She's so lovely. I know. I'm going to be doing a live with her in a couple of weeks, which will be great. She's a sweetie. But yeah, I try and either do her qigong or try and do yoga and meditation because I'm with The Hive, because I find that even though I know how to do these things myself, you know, I've taught yoga and meditation for a long time. I find at the moment with lockdown, unless I've got that time that's booked in, like I've actually gone and booked in at that class, then it holds me accountable. I'm not going to do it. If I just say, oh yeah, I'll go and do half an hour exercise later today, you know, running a business from home and having 2 kids, it's just not going to happen. I need to have it booked in, a time that my husband can have the kids, and just make sure I do it. So that to me has been, you know, has kept me sane. Really.
Yeah,
it's
like me time, and it's so important because it then, you know, resets everything, and you can go back to the stress of everything else.
Definitely. Do you do yoga?
I'm more of a Pilates, but I have been doing some yoga during lockdown because it is very calming, and it just, you feel so much better afterwards when you actually really sort of breathe properly.
Absolutely. But Pilates is great too.
I love Pilates. Sorry, someone's asking, does pushing pressure on your face loosen up the skin? What should be the pressure during facial yoga?
So the best thing to do is use a mirror, and as you're doing it, just make sure that you're not just dragging the skin in any old direction. It should just either be nice and gentle, you know, like I showed you before, or if you're doing deeper, like the pinching, pinch right down to that bottom muscle. So going right down through all 3 layers of skin, right down to the muscle. So they're almost all working as a unit. What you don't want to do is just drag the skin in any old direction. You know, that's going to over time will damage the skin. So use a mirror. Your face should look and feel nice and relaxed throughout the whole of it. If it looks like there's tension in the face, or it looks like the skin is dragging, go gentler. And my advice always is start a little bit gentler and build up if you need to, because as humans we always do want to go with that very deep, harsh touch and think that that's what's going to get better results quicker. But actually try and flip that way of thinking around and try and start gentle.
Okay, amazing. And then sort of final question, what is your personal mantra in life?
I think it's always be grateful. I'm such a believer in gratitude, and I think whatever situation we're in, however difficult It is. If we can try and find things to be grateful for and thankful for, this can help us feel better. It can help us approach the situation better. And I just always think there is something to be thankful for. You know, we should do that. So I try every single day to try and either write down or list in my head 10 things I'm grateful for about that day.
Amazing. I mean, Danielle, we are so incredibly grateful for you and for your time today. It has been fascinating and so interesting, and I'm going to be doing a lot of this. And I thank you very much for your amazing teaching.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for your beautiful clothes. Oh, they're absolutely stunning, and you can probably see I've got one of your yellow dresses on today.
Amazing. Amazing. I'm so pleased. I hope you have a lovely weekend though and you enjoy the sunshine. And thank you.
And you as well. Take care.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.